Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new FTB Infinity on expert mode here. We are still just cruising along in the series. Last episode, we went and kind of destroyed the Twilight Forest a little bit. We'll just leave it at that. But we did get some nice, cool things and some nice trinkets and all that kind of stuff done. Oh my god, I'm in a pipe. One of the things that I did do here, and you can hear the clicking, I set up an autonomous activator on a timer with high mode for all of our essence berries. And the reason I did this is so that we can get all the essence into our obelisk, okay? That, and it was starting to fill up some of our drives over here. So, you know, we got about 15,000. We are slowly progressing our way down, but you can't really go all that fast or full speed with the autonomous activators. I have two vacuum hoppers here, and they're both pretty much maxed out. So keep that in mind. I could maybe do something like transfer nodes or something else, but that'll work for now. Plus, I got this nice little viewing window. I can see the little experience orbs just clicking on through. No big deal. I could also increase the timer, but again, we're pretty much full on that, so not much you can do there. Did I craft? I didn't craft these. Okay. Oh, yes, that's right. I remember now. Okay. We are here, and I think we're going to start on a couple different things. And one of the major things that I want to start on is solar panels, all right? Solar panels are really expensive in this mod pack, but once they're set up, they're just a continual power source, okay? Now, there's two different types of solar panels. There's the advanced solar panels that produce EU, like industrial craft energy. When you convert that to RF, remember that that converts at 4 times the amount. So, for example, the ultimate hybrid, if I remember correctly, produces 512 EU per tick. So, what is that, 2,000 RF for that guy? I think that's right. Or something like that. This guy here produces about 4,000 EU per tick, also known as 16,000 RF per tick. So one of these is better than my entire big reactor downstairs and any other power source that we have right now, basically. Yeah. And then there's also these guys here, the leadstones from Solar Expansion. Also pretty darn good. You can get them, they're a little bit cheaper, I would say, than the industrial craft ones by a decent margin. And you can see here, like, a resonant is 512 RF per tick, and it holds 512,000, right? And you can get ones above that. So 8 resonants are going to give you an advanced, which gives you 4,000, and then there's an ultimate above that, which is another 8 advanced, which will then generate you 32,000 RF per tick. Pretty ridiculous. This guy is very expensive, though, overall. I mean, each one of these, it just keeps on keeping on, okay? So you would need an absolute ton of the leadstone solar panels. So for example, I have a few in my crafting thing. So if I click on this to craft one of these, it requires about 1,600 glass per one resonant solar panel, okay? And that's only going to produce 512 RF per tick. But as you can see, that is the only item that I am actually missing at this point in time. So that's pretty darn good, I do say. Let's get a little bit of sand producing some glass anyways. But the one that I want to make first, or, well, I've already made one of the resonants. I should clarify. I've already made one of those. We already made one for our tree farm outside. I did that kind of off camera without you all, but I did make one, and you can see it right there on top of powering our entire farm over there. So it worked out pretty good. And then just immersive engineering cables to convert all of the charge and everything. So overall, it worked out really nice. I should set up an auto crafting recipe for sand. as well as we need to do a few other auto crafting recipes as well. But the one that I want to make today is the ultimate hybrid solar panel, and I want to make one of these guys. Oh dang. Alright, so that's going to take 32 iridium. Yeah, I told you it's expensive. Some of that cenarium and enriched cenarium. Okay. But we're short a radiant uranium. Alright, a radiant uranium. How do we make this guy again? Uranium and glowstone. That's pretty straightforward. Is there a way that I can do it with something that I already have? Enriched. I don't have uranium ore at the moment either. Not great. Not great at all. We're kind of stuck on that, aren't we? I'm thinking so. Yeah. Molten uranium. Okay. Hold on. Is this going somewhere? Uranium dust. Can I get anything out of that? I don't think so. I don't think so. We basically need uranium ore for this. So, and I'm pretty sure I don't have any. I guarantee you I don't have any. But I do have some uranium ingots. So that's good. I don't think these poison you. No, I think we're okay on that. And then glowstone. Alright. So we're actually going to set up the process that one of these and one of these equals an irradiant. Is that right? I'm pretty sure that's right. 1 and 1 equals 1. Okay, good. We're going to craft that guy up. And we actually do have the technology already in place underneath our assembly table here to add in some recipes. So as you can see, I have the chipsets, I got a couple machine frames, and now we have the irradiant uranium. Very good. And this, I believe, is just set to like auto export everything. Yeah. Okay. So we should be able to now make this guy. Yes. Okay. And start. Oh, baby. Very nice. So this guy here, I think it's either 128 EU per tick or it's 512. I can't remember exactly. You don't ever really want to build the hybrid version. This one here, it's basically the exact same recipe, but produces less. So, and you need 8 of them to get one ultimate, right? So once you do all the math on this, it's, I think, more expensive to do it that way than to just make it flat out from an advanced solar panel, which requires all of this stuff, by the way. Just saying. Okay, where are we at? Is it crafted yet? Okay, we're probably waiting on the uranium. Ah, that's why. I didn't have it clicked. Okay. I've also added more lasers, so this thing goes... Oh, what is it at again? I don't even remember what it is max speed. 2640? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's pretty darn quick. And it looks absolutely crazy. So those guys finished really fast, and we should pretty much have our solar panel. Where are we at on that? I'm curious now. I want to know. Okay, we're scheduled to craft advanced alloys. Why are we not? Crafting mixed metal ingots. Okay. So why is it not crafting mixed metal ingots? Mixed metal ingots. Doesn't seem to be crafting those. Tin, bronze, iron. Tin plate. Tin plate. We have enough. So why is it not crafting it? That is strange. Okay. So, a little bit of a hiccup there. Let's see if we can't figure out the problem. So, let's cancel that. Ow. Really? I'm, like, too close to it? Alright, there we go. So, let's see. If we just do it again, the ultimate... Let's see. We need to craft the advanced alloys, which is the mixed metal ingots, which should work. Let's see if it works this time. Because it should craft them. So we're crafting bronze plates. Okay. So that's a thing. I'm hoping that that's working appropriately. It should be. Going into the right machines and everything. That's good. We should get them all. The bronze plates. And then that should give us all of our mixed metal ingots. And then it should craft the advanced alloys. So then we should see the mixed metal ingots going to the machine to make the advanced alloys. Is that those coming there? No. Why are we getting bronze plates? And why is there iron plates in there? Oh God. This whole system seems a little foobarred. Why are we getting tin? Okay. Alright, hold the horses. This whole thing, we're going to have to redo this at some point in time. So let's cancel this recipe. This is probably my own dirt. There's an error in the junction somewhere there. So let's get the mixed metal ingots, which we've didn't make, apparently. And we'll get this guy done. Alright, so I'm still going to have to change something up there, but for now, we're going to craft the solar panel. I pretty much went and did it all manually, but there we go, the ultimate hybrid solar panel. How sweet is that? Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's a slime that's intruding on my territory. Get wrecked, son. So if I'm not mistaken, right under here, somewhere... Right there. Bingo. Okay, good. This is our basement right here. So if I just line up to tie in right here with that line. Where's the zombies? Oh, they must have been in my thing. So if I put this guy... Well, that ain't gonna work, is it? No, there's a big old cave there. Alright. There's a big old ceiling. None of that's gonna work. Maybe I'll have to come up with a different strategy. Let's see about maybe the other side here. So if we jump down... Where's this zombie? Really? Really? There we go. Solve that problem. That was strange. Anyways, so there is all of that. Okay, let's do this. Let's put this stuff away. And let's see about... getting this all set up properly. So, what I'm thinking is, if we can tie in somewhere decently close with the solar panel. So I'm sure we could go in like right up here. This would probably be an adequate place. If we go maybe one to the side here, right there, and run it down the back side. So if I place that guy there, you can see that it's generating 512 EU per tick in the sun. So that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And we have the solar panel then. And we can just kind of close this up like so. And the solar panel is ready to go. And we can then just work to tie it all in together. Oh God, these mobs are going to drive me bonkers. Okay, good. I deal with them all the time. And I just don't like it. So we have a little solar panel up there. Now, I'm thinking I'll just run a cable straight across the front side there. And that should help us and do a bit of the job. I don't think I have any more glass fiber cable. Can we make some? We probably don't have this silver... I don't have the glass. No, I have the glass. What are they on about? Okay, and then silver dust. We probably don't have silver dust. Let's make just 64 while we're here. And then that way we're good to go for a little bit. So in this guy, no, where is it? This guy. 64, go. Alright, so that should make us some silver dust. And then that will allow us to get, there we go, some more glass fiber cables. Alright, good. Let's start running this over. And I think I'm just going to connect it right into the main line over there. And basically use this just like I do the reactors. So we're just going to come right across like so. All the way across the top. And into the nuclear reactors and all that. Okay, good. That's a bit of a problem. Let's just remove that. And yeah, and then we'll basically have this connect right into the back over here. To that guy right there. So, I'm going to get a little bit more cable. We'll connect this guy up. And then we'll move on to the next thing. Because that solar panel took a lot of stuff. Alright, so I've hooked up the solar panel and it's feeding into our system, so very nice. That should get us more UU matter faster, as well as Cenarium and all that kind of stuff. So that's great. The other thing that I could have done is I probably could have piped it in up top and piped it into my capacity banks, and we may do that still, but all in due time. So the next thing that I want to work on is I want to actually automate our inscribers. Now, as you guys know, we only have one inscriber at this point in time. I'm going to need about 5 total. So these guys here, yeah, do I? I don't think I have them even as a recipe, do I? Let's see, sticky pistons. Let's go 2 of these. Boom. And let's auto-craft up the inscribers. Like so. Good. And then that way we're covered and we don't have to do anything. Just the way I like it. Alright, so we'll put that back and we'll go, we need 4 more. Alright, good. We have all the machine frames already prepared. Beautiful. So the only thing we have to make is the sticky pistons. So it should be pretty quick. That'll give us the inscribers. Now, each inscriber needs 3 acceleration cards. The one downstairs already has one, so I need another 8 acceleration cards. And we're already out of calculation processors. Dang it. Okay, that's fine, though. I think that's okay. Alright, we're going to need some storage buses. What do I need? I need 5. Oh boy, and we're out of logic processors too. Ooh, this is not good. Okay, I might have to get a little bit more loot. Just saying. We might have to use this guy. Oh, I have calculation. Very good. But I don't have logic. Alright. I got no logic. Well, I have 2. But that's a different story. So we could make the acceleration cards now. 8. Good. That'll give us those. And let me get the rest here done. We're going to need some gold and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I've come up with my concoction for the inscriber. Alright, now, bear with me, but we basically have a logistics pipe supplying and keeping the following in stock. So pure Certus, silicone, redstone, gold, and diamonds. Alright, so 1 stack of each here in stock, ready to go. Good. Now we are using subnetworks here, so let me work you through this as best I can. So we have a storage bus on an ME interface. Same thing that we have over here on the storage that I explained earlier. This creates a subnetwork. We have the quartz fiber pipe to connect power into this mini system here. So this is all one little subsystem right here. Okay? And as you can see, this is just our power line to also connect to the inscribers. Perfect, right? So we have an import bus on this chest, basically saying that anything in this chest can be imported into this little system. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And then we have this guy connected to the inscriber, which with Applied Energistics 2, you can connect through blocks to power them all. Okay, so all inscribers are getting powered from this one location here. Alright, now this same little subsystem has one other system down here, and that's an export bus going into this inscriber, supplying it with printed silicone. Now, I didn't want to just continually craft printed silicone. As you can see, I already have too much as it is. So I'm just using a mini chest for printed silicone, and that's on an export bus right here. So all of this is on the same network, and then we have an ME interface up here that we still have to do the recipes for the whatchamacallit, for the actual processors themselves. Okay, so this guy should always stay as full as it can be, but of course we're short on a few items like pure Certus. I'm gonna have to come up with a system for that right away, and that's the first part of this system. Then we have another subsystem behind that, and that is the inscribers and the storage buses right here. So the first storage bus here, this guy is our processor crafter. Okay, so this guy is set to supply redstone. So it's going to pull from this chest, look for redstone, and it's going to supply it in the front slot there. Okay, this one's going to be diamond, and as you can see, we have the engineering press in there, and we've already got 64 printed circuits available to us. Silicone, same thing all the way down the road. Okay, so these we actually have access to. So if I actually pull up my little thing here, and we look up not processors, like logic, you can see that we have access to the printed logic circuit. Same with the engineer, and same with the calculation. Pretty nice, right? So we could access just those if we need to, which is a bonus. I don't think any recipes actually require it, but that's a different story. But equally, because we now have access to it, we can set up the auto crafting recipe in this ME interface to get them going. All right, so without further ado, let me get a few things here. Let's just put all this stuff away for right now. Good. And let's see about getting these guys set. So I need one of you, one of you, one of you. Okay, good. Now, as you can see, that number went up to 65. I'm pretty sure I took out half a stack there. Yeah, I did on all of these. So it's going to start producing again, and the rest of them we put into storage over here on the ME drive. So the reason that that happened is because you can't input the circuits back in. Okay, so once they come out, they're out for good. Now, I could probably set up mini chests for all the circuits to keep 64 on hand at all times, but that seems a little bit ridiculous. All right, so this guy, so we're going to need a calculation processor. So we're going to be doing processing patterns. So to get a calculation processor, we need a calculation circuit. And this is going to be the same for all of them. So then same thing for the logic. One logic processor equals one logic circuit. Boom, encoded. All right, and of course the engineering. One engineering equals one circuit. Boom. Okay, so those are the only three that I believe we require. And we'll just put these guys in there like so. And now we should be able to actually auto craft. So let's look at logic. Can we not? We can't. That's a shame. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's go about this a different route then. So we need to do an export bus. Yeah. Okay. An export bus. We'll take this ME interface off of here, and we'll put on the export bus. This guy is going to need a capacity upgrade. Good. Okay. And this is going to be an upgrade of capacity, and that guy is going to allow through the circuits that we had. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Good. Beautiful. So this is going to do this, this, and this. So now it should actually be pretty much auto crafting it from here. I don't really want that though. Do I? No, I do not. Why is that not doing what I want it to do? Good question, right? Alright, so all that I did is I removed this from the subsystem, the ME interface, and I connected it directly into the rest of our channel. So it is taking up an extra channel, which is something that I wanted to avoid, but not a huge deal, I guess, in the long run. Clean up the cable a little bit, make certain things more accessible again, but this should operate correctly now as far as I know. So let's look at our logic, and again, middle click on the mouse button. We should be able to craft one, and then if I jump down there, we should see there's the one, and now we need to import it back into the system, don't we? How am I going to import it back? That is a great question, because the ME interface will not take it back. Maybe just on the backside there. So just a standard, what do I need? Import bus, right? And we'll import it back into the system. So one import bus. What do you mean no crafting CPUs are available? Cancel. Cancel. Okay, that's what it meant. Good. Okay, and let's get an import bus. Good. Start. And this guy, I should probably keep a capacity card on. And let's get the processors, one of each, so that we're not pulling out anything we don't want to. All right. Good. Let's jump on down and let's configure this guy up. Where are we at here? Okay, good. Right here. Alright, so this will be our import. We're going to have a capacity card on this guy, and we're only going to accept the finalized processors, and then this guy will then connect into our system. So now, is it pulling it out? Why is it not pulling it out? Hello? 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 Not working. Does it need to be on the other side? That's a possibility. Let me play around with it a little bit. Alright, so we're pretty much still at the same point. We got the ME interface here. But instead, what I've done is I just did an extractor on there, basically saying only pull out the completed processors, and that's pretty much it. So we now have at least, oh god, really? So as I was saying before I was interrupted by a wonderful server reset, which is very useful, let me add. As you can see, it's pulling out the processors pretty slowly though. I may want to upgrade that extractor module, but it might be okay for right now. And it's just extracting it and putting it back into our main little chest there. And overall, we have a little decent amount of a backlog. Not too shabby at all. Using a little logistics pipes there as well, which I guess worked. It worked just fine. Let's see. Can these, or is it these? I can never remember which one goes on which. Not that one or that one. Neither of these can go on logistics pipes. Okay, great. Great. Do they have their own too? Logistics pipe? It's probably Buildcraft. Anyways, either way, we have the system up and operational. So by theory, we have access to all of the different items that we may require. Now, I would like to, as you can see, we now have them all available to us, craft a few 16Ks, and what I really want to craft is a 64K crafting storage unit. The reason I want to do this is because it's going to be very useful overall in terms of, you know, just crafting in general. We're going to have a lot of bigger crafting that needs to be done, so it's going to be quite useful, especially once we get into much larger systems like the solar panels, for example. Those guys take so much capacity that you pretty much have to get a big crafting system operational. Alright, so I'm just going to add this guy on. This is the best part about all this. You can just kind of go like this and boom, and add it on. So now we have a pretty decent crafting unit there where we can tell it to craft something big. What are we missing? What are we missing? Uranium. And boy, oh boy, are we ever missing uranium. I am actually losing uranium. Let's just go over this for a second. We are actually losing uranium. Our quarry is not keeping up fast enough with our uranium production that we are actually losing it on our stuff downstairs. Now, sadly, we can't really do too much about that. We could switch a couple of them out to mocks or something along those lines, but for the most part, we're kind of stuck until we can get something a little bit better or a little bit more exact on uranium. Like getting a laser drill set up only to mine uranium, not a bad idea. But we really don't have that much power either, so we're kind of at a bit of a crossroads when it comes to power and tech and the quarry and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I can handle 2 times on the quarry or not, but yeah, it's definitely a thing that is starting to creep up because I've been noticing, all right? I've been keeping track of all my stuff. So yeah, good times overall. I think this is actually where we're going to end it though. I think we're going to call it about here. I need to process this video. It's already after midnight. Yet again, what else is new with me? Always after midnight. Grinding the grindstone at both ends. And I'll see you guys next time. So make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.